Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and welcome back to another episode of Top 3 Tips. This is a video series in which, as the name suggests, I come to you each week with 3 new tips that are hopefully going to help improve your game. If you want to get involved in this series, you can head on over to my Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all of the normal socials. Just check out Griefdrums. Send me any pictures, videos, or anything that you've got, and hopefully you can be included in a future episode. But without any more messing around, let's just go ahead and jump straight into these tips. So this tip sees us over on Bank. This is going to be specifically for if you are playing Sledge. His utility is phenomenal. He's a great all-round operator, and frankly, if anyone was to take him on your team, I don't think there are many occasions in which you could really say, why did you bring a Sledge? You know, he's so versatile, and he really is useful. He's got both of his weapons are phenomenal, both the SMG-11 and the L85 for close and long range. So it's really, really good to have a Sledge on your team. Obviously not dedicated, but like I say, you're not going to cry if you end up with a Sledge on your team. However, every now and then you're attacking a site and it turns out to be the wrong one, if that makes sense. So you slightly misstep. Now, this particular tip is going to sort of focus on, let's say, we expect someone to attack or to defend the archives tellers on this map. So what we're going to do is we're going to nip upstairs very quickly. And I'm just going to sort of showcase this a little bit just to give you a bit of a background, a bit of understanding. Now, we're going to pretend that the CEO's office isn't the site for the moment. So you've brought a Sledge so you can try and do all of the opening of the floor and really utilize that utility to the best of your ability, if you will. However, in this scenario, they haven't gone archives and they've instead gone CEOs. And your team turn around and say to you, you know what? Sledge was probably a mistake. You can't really do anything with this gadget. The majority of the floor up here, I mean, we can't do anything from below the site and we can't really do anything from up here. This is where I would say you're wrong. Sledge can still be used really effectively. Now, not everybody knows this, but these walls here, when they're reinforced, if the top section isn't already open because they're not impact tricking, what you can do with Sledge is you can come up to it, utilize your hammer, and you'll notice that the whole top section disappears. Now, the reinforcement, when the defenders have reinforced it, only goes up as far as this beam. So if you don't know about this, every time you see a wall like this, the beam is pretty much where the reinforcement goes to, and it will run obviously all the way across this wall. But by sledgehammering this, which most people don't know you can do, it will allow you to get grenades over the top of it to take out any bandits, any electroclaws, anything that's just on the other side, so your thermite can actually open it up. Now, obviously with the reinforcement is going to be filling all of this area, but this section up here, this can be huge. If you are trying to get rid of stuff like that, or you're just trying to yeet some grenades over there to ruin someone's day, you can do it. Now, like I say, not everybody knows about this, and I figured it might be fairly useful to just sort of divulge this information so you can see that there are other ways to utilize Sledge. Now, one other thing about this is this isn't the only wall that this can be utilized on. Certainly not on Bank. With Bank, you've got all of these walls around here. That was a bad hit. You get the idea. You can open up the top section of it, and if you haven't got the buck and you are having to use Sledge, you can go ahead and do exactly that. Now, sometimes, yes, you'll be right in saying that it's going to be difficult to yeet grenades over the top, as you can see from that section there. With the right kind of a hit, it's very, very simple to do. You can also utilize it on the middle floor if you're attacking in through the admin office and you're trying to get into the archives area itself. You can go ahead and do it on this wall, and as you'll see, it leaves a nice little section there. The closer to the wall you go, it doesn't actually go higher. So when you're doing it, step back just a fraction. Go all the way to the wall, step back just a fraction, aim as high as you can. And that's the best way to get it. Hopefully this helps. On to the next tip. So the next tip for today is going to take us on over to the cache room, server room. This is one that I've shared quite a few tips on in the past, but I think it's a really, really good site that a lot of people struggle to hold. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down a bit of a general tip here. It's more of an angle than anything, but we're going to start with why we're doing it. Now, for those of you that aren't already diamond players, because I do get those in the YouTube comments, this main wall is the wall that the majority of attacking teams are going to try and get through. They're going to try and breach this wall with a hard breacher, and subsequently they're going to try and get any bandit batteries or mute jammers, any Kaid devices that you may have put on. They're going to try and get those off so they can get through it. Now, some teams are going to try and send a Twitch drone through here. Other teams are going to just bring a Thatcher. Alternatively, if you've got a Kaid and he's gone ahead and put it up on the roof just up here, if Thatcher's banned out, it can be difficult for them to get it. if Carly is in play, she can't actually reach it if you put it far enough away. Now with the new 3-meter radius, you literally got such a huge circle with Kaid. It's very, very difficult for Carly to actually be able to get it. Alternatively, what you can do is you can place the Kaids over here and just out through here. That can be very difficult for Carly to get it. It doesn't actually work, but you get the point. So this main wall is the real bone of contention, and a lot of teams are going to try and get it. Now, if they've got a Maverick or a Carly and they're not able to get it, a lot of teams will send someone in down below. They will send a buck in to get control of lounge, and this can obviously be a bit of an area of contest, because if you can hold this area, they can't do that. They can't come underneath. They can't open up just down here where the main wall is. Speaking of which, a lot of people actually seem to get this wrong, and they seem to come all the way over here for some reason and then wonder why they can't get it. It's in line with this white section here, just in case you are ever wondering. If you're ever playing as Buck or Zofia and you're trying to get the batteries or the Electroclaw, it's just on this line. However, a point to note is that when you are down here, it's not exactly the safest area. You've got to worry a little bit about the stairs themselves, and that's obviously a bit of an issue. But one thing you also have to worry about that a lot of people don't realise, and a lot of people don't seem to utilise, is this angle through here in the cache room itself. So very often you'll have someone playing around the bomb area, able to control construction. You'll have a rotate just over here, and if the person at the top of cache stairs happens to die, this person can sort of defend against it a little bit. But this person is a vital anchor in this entire defensive strat, and you will often see people playing around here. Now, the floor is destructible, so with that, there are a few really spicy angles that you can utilise. You've got to be careful not to open too much of this up, purely because of the fact you're creating an angle onto yourself as well. However, from here, you can play around all of this, and if that person is getting pressure from Buck from below, you can literally contest the majority of the lounge from right here. You know, you can come and peek this angle as and when you need to, and we know that top down very often has a good advantage. So this can be an angle to just open up, and it at least keeps people worried. If you've got a Buck that's playing downstairs or a Zofia that's pushed into the lounge downstairs, it's another thing for them to worry about. So they're going to need another person to come and defend them or protect them. Yes, they can yeet stuff up there, so that is something you have to be careful of. And like I say, I wouldn't open up as much of this, but by putting this angle there, it's something for them to have to worry about when they're trying to get the wall here, and you can see their feet from up there. Hopefully this helps. I don't know. I find it to be useful, but I don't really anchor on site much on this particular part of the map. But all I'm saying is, if you are one of those anchors, hopefully this can help you out, you know? Hopefully you can utilise it, hopefully you can put it in your arsenal. And just by putting a couple of little holes in various places on this part of the site, places that you're not really going to commonly move to, you know, towards the end of the round, I guess. Early in the round, you can hold these different angles and you can assist your team just to try and deny the main utility. So the final tip for today is going to cover smoke grenades. Now, smoke grenades are a phenomenal piece of equipment that you've got in your arsenal if you use them correctly. Now, we're going to stick with the cache and server attack just for the sake of this, just to try and simplify things and keep it nice and easy. Whether it showcases it best, I don't know. We'll have a look at a couple of different maps maybe and see if I can showcase this in the best way possible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this wall. I've brought Gridlock along just because she's got the shotgun and smokes. This will also apply to players like Capital. If you've got a Dukabi or a Jackal, or Dockaby, if people have got a problem with the way that I've just said that. But whoever you've got, if they've got smoke grenades and you want to utilise them, this is a common mistake that people make. Now, very often, the planter is going to try and get in through here. They're going to come running in, and they're going to try and plant behind the bomb just here. Obviously, this isn't the site. However, as a result, the person that's going to smoke it off will throw the smoke grenade just down here. Just so that that person runs into the smoke and they're in amongst it and you can't see them. And that's not really the best way to utilise it. Because of that, you're not going to be able to defend the diffuser. You're not going to be able to block people coming through. And the smokes are really beneficial if the defender has to push through it, because their visibility being in amongst the smoke is less than yours on the outside of the smoke. So as they start emerging from it, you can see them before they can see you. It's only fractional, it's only minor, but it can make all the difference in the game. So if you were attacking this particular site and you had garage control, for example, this is just for the cases of explaining this, the best places to throw the smokes are going to be through in this hallway and the other one far over there. Because they're the two ways that the defenders could come from. So as and when they come from there, you can see them coming through the smoke. It blocks their line of sight and their visibility. They can't see what's going on. That's a really bad example because the smoke's already gone. But they can't see what's going on. They can't see the person coming through there. And it even becomes trickier to lob things like nitros and stuff like that. Obviously, on this particular site, there are other ways to do it. But you get my point. It's very, very difficult because the defender can't clearly see the door frame. They've got to emerge through the smoke. And as they do, they're easily getting lit up. You know what? We're going to go over to somewhere like Chalet because I feel like that's going to explain it really, really well. So here we are over on Chalet. I've come over here because I feel that this is probably one of the best sites to explain this on. And as long as this is in the rank rotation, we still need to learn it and we still need to know about it. So the most common plant spots when you're opening this side are over here by the bins. A lot of people come in here and just try and plant by the bins. Or alternatively, they'll try and plant over here. These are fairly common. And as a result, the team will try and assist that person by throwing a smoke grenade down. They'll throw one just inside of the door frame, and then that person goes running into the smoke and hides in amongst it. This isn't the best way to use smokes at all, as I was saying, and instead what you want to do is you want to sort of put it over towards either connector or the blue corridor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to showcase this. If you were to put one about here by throwing it in, it makes it very, very difficult for that person or whoever is in here to even see what is going on. Yes, they can pre-fire a little bit. They've got a bit of an idea, but they can't see what's going on until they come all the way out of the smoke. And by that point, they're already dead. Now, the biggest problem with smoking exactly where your person is, it makes it very difficult for them to see what is going on. It makes it very easy for the defender, who can quite easily, you know, lob a nitro or do whatever they need to do in that exact area. And it counts against you. You know, actually, it doesn't help you. It hinders you more than anything. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's going to be a few people that are going to say, well, what if they've got a Wamai or a Jaeger? If they have either of those and you haven't been able to clear them all out, you haven't burnt them with ADSs, please don't try and lob the smoke all the way to the back where you want it to go so they can't see. It's not going to assist you. And I'm well aware that that is the case. You know, you want to try and deal with any ADSs and you want to try and burn them out. If there's a Wamai, make sure they're all gone. But if that isn't the case and you can actually get away with this, you want to try and put the smokes as far into the room as you can. Now, if I was to put one all the way over to this door frame, it will block people looking through that door frame, and it can be really beneficial. But what about people coming from the main stairs? The other option you've got is you can throw one against things like this. So this red container just down here, we'll put it just on the other side of the snowmobile, and it blocks all of that line of sight over there. And it can make it very, very difficult for that person. Now, you imagine that one's there, the other one's going off here. No one's going to be able to see exactly what is going on in the site, and they're not going to be able to do much against you. So, if you've got a Capital, make sure to utilize him in this way. If you've got smokes, make sure to try and utilize them this way. It really does benefit your team so much more, as you can see exactly what's going on. Say, for example, the person with the diffuser dies during the plant. The next person can run in and see what's going on. They don't have to worry about it too much. Alternatively, if the smokes go in later, and you've managed to get the plant down and then someone smokes off these areas, you don't have to worry about the defender being defender diffusing. If you've smoked this diffuser off and the defender has managed to get in there, you're going to have a hard time trying to get him then, aren't you? Because you're not going to be able to clearly see where he is. You understand my point. I'm afraid that's going to be it for today's video. Unfortunately, there may not be one next week. I'm heading off to Montreal next week for the 6 Invitational. Ubisoft have very kindly invited me to go along, and I'm also going to be capturing the event or the season early. I'm going to be going down to the Ubisoft studios here in the UK, and I'm going to be capturing the new season for you. So I'm going to hopefully have some really, really cool stuff all about what's coming up. I'm going to try and vlog the 6 Invitational as much as I can. I'm going to try and, if I can, I'm going to try and do daily vlogs. Don't hold your breath though. We'll see how we get on, because I'm definitely going to be having a good time and doing some drinking there. If you are going to the 6 Invitational and you do happen to see me there, please, please come say hello. I would love to meet you guys. I'd love to hang out. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.